Neil Sean and Kinsey Schofield. Good to see you both. Thank you for being here. Neil, this was her favorite place, wasn't it? And to be surrounded by her family, I mean, this is pretty picture perfect. We've all got to go. If you have to go, this is the way to do it, no?
Good evening, David, from London. Yes, I mean, you're right. It was her favourite place. And, it was a strange feeling, really, because a couple of months back, there was speculation here in the media in the United Kingdom as to whether she would ever return back to London, because normally at this time of year, around about the first or second week of October, she returns back to pick up, public duties. But, I was thinking about this today. It's a very strange situation, isn't it? Because we were lucky to have her, but we were lucky that she got to see with the Platinum Jubilee how much she was loved. And I was thinking, if it's an enduring image, a more positive image rather than the sombre thing, I would say it was her taking tea with Paddington Bear.
Oh, we're going to show. I'm going to tease that for later on. We are going to show a wonderful clip from that, and you're right. It's just I just talked to somebody in the elevator coming down here. I said, "Did you cry when you first heard about it?" She said, "No, but when I saw that Paddington Bear clip, I cried." We'll get into that. But yeah, but Kinsey,
exactly though, emotional.
Kinsey, we're looking at live pictures outside Buckingham Palace. It's raining now, but I know that I don't want to get too spiritual about this, but just moments after she passed away, there was this incredible rainbow that happened on a pretty, it hadn't even started to rain yet outside of Buckingham Palace. We had one of those dual rainbow setups. It was pretty spectacular. We'll try to show that later on, but there is obviously a very sad feeling with her passing, but also a feeling that she's actually being honored by the heavens above, right?
I think it's very appropriate to be spiritual. Queen Elizabeth was very spiritual. Don't forget that she was smitten with Billy Graham. She loved Billy Graham, and they were friends. So I think she would encourage the idea that the heavens celebrated her finally making her way there, reuniting with us four, her father, her mother, and her sister. And then, the love of her life, Prince Philip. I think she was devastatingly lonely without him, and it's it brings me some comfort to imagine them meeting at the gates and holding hands again.
It does. It really is. There is something very spiritual about the day, but there was also something very hardworking about this woman from the day she became, even before she became queen during World War II. Neil, she was working very hard to unite the nation in a time of war, and then of course the near depression that happened right after the war, as you were trying to rebuild after that horrible thing. And just 2 days before she passed away, she was engaged in her duties, meeting with another prime minister, right, with Liz Truss.
Absolutely, and really, when you think, she said for her entire life she would serve, and boy, did she keep to her word. We knew at this point that she was very frail and in some discomfort, and there, you are. We have a brand new British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Liz Truss, and consequently, this will become a huge historical picture, because it will be the sort of last picture, as it were, of our beautiful monarch. But as you rightly say, David, this was a lady who, they talk about girl power and independence and all sorts of stuff in today's age, but this was a woman who did it quietly, serenely, without any fuss. There she was, assisting in the heart of the war, artillery, that sort of stuff. She got involved in everything. And I think the reason why she endured such long popularity is because we really could paint our own picture upon her, if you like, because we didn't know her, but we felt we did know her. And she was very moving, for the British public, particularly when she gave that rousing speech just during the pandemic. And she said the infamous line, "We will meet again." Trust me, that was one of the most moving speeches I think I've ever heard from Her Majesty. And it really did unite everybody over here. People were in tears from it because, there she was telling us, don't worry, I've been through worse. We can get through this.
Yes.
We are going to so miss her. She was England. Without a doubt.
And Kinsey, she was the head of state, and she did unite the country. I mean, we very rarely knew her views about any subjects, more so her son, who is now the king. But But she had this wonderful sense of uniting, and as the head of state, she could do that. I mean, a lot of Americans, frankly, I think that's the reason that they're drawn to her image as the head of state, because we have such division in our country, in the United States right now. But, you know, you saw her meeting prime minister, conservatives, liberals, it didn't matter. She had that same sense of unity, and that's why that final picture of just 2 days ago was so incredible, because she once again, she was smiling there. I hope we can get that picture up of her with Liz Truss, but smiling, you know, putting her best game face on. We know she must have been in some kind of pain leading up to her death. There's the picture, the photograph. But you'd never know it, because she had this sense of stoicism that carried her through her duties.
Yes. Keep calm and carry on. And, you know, that was, you never knew what was going on. But we're on Fox Business. So I would love to say, too, she was frugal. And I loved that about the Queen. And it also might be one of the reasons why Americans love her. Don't forget that she would eat her breakfast out of Tupperware. While we imagine the Queen, you know, with you know, china and wearing the tiara at the breakfast table, she would eat her breakfast out of Tupperware. She was very frugal, wore outfits more than once, just a humble, wonderful woman. And so absolutely.
Well, Neil, she was actually born a couple of months before my dad was. So they both, people who went through the Depression, who went through World War II, had that sense of frugalness, and they're also, it kind of forged their stoicism. I think that too, particularly in London, as you were going through the Blitz from the Nazis, and she got right out there and was walking through some of the bombed out areas. She proved her mettle, didn't she?
Oh, absolutely. And as you rightly said, you know, I mean, you've got to remember as well, when you talk about her frugality, you know, prime ministers who I've interviewed have told me that when they went to see her at Windsor, and, you know, it may be cold in the room, there was no putting the fire on. You know, she got them a blanket and just put it over their knee, you know, because she didn't, you know, she didn't waste money. She came from, you know, a background that really was all about frugality and just keeping going. And when you think about it, you know, I was lucky enough when President Trump came over and, shall we say, walked in front of her. You know, he got it all a little bit wrong, but she liked him, let me tell you. You know, the Queen was very, very good in business. And all the prime ministers that when you interview them and you say, you know, what is she like? You know, they say, well, she knows exactly what's going on. She knows exactly what you should do. And she gives that advice, or should I say, gave that advice. But she always gave this back to one of the world's greatest leaders, our very first prime minister, Winston Churchill. You know, apparently he taught us so much. She was so grateful to him. And then obviously she passed this on. And I think she probably was more influential in politics than we realize, because these prime ministers, right from Liz Truss, right back round to Winston Churchill, via John Major, you know, and beyond, you know, they've all had her expertise firsthand, even if you don't get the fire on.
Now, Kinsey, there were challenging times, and I think in my lifetime, no more so than what happened when Princess Diana died, and there was a real crisis in Buckingham Palace. They were trying to figure out exactly how to, because it was so difficult, and she trained herself not to be emotional in front of people, and that kind of bothered a lot of English people, but she did come out and finally met the moment, didn't she?
And don't forget when she bowed her head to Diana as the casket passed, which was just a phenomenal moment. You know, everybody, they were caught just breathless after that, because it was so unique. That was a struggle, and I honestly think it perhaps was an unfair misjudgment by the public. I understand, I love Diana, and I understand that the public loves Diana, but we now know that she was doing her best to protect those boys, and her ultimate objective was to protect their hearts. Both of the men have come out and said that recently too, that she was just loving on them and trying to protect them. So I do think history will be kind ultimately in regards to that specific instance.
And we did get a glimpse, not only during those hard times, but during the lighter times of the Jubilee. And you mentioned this, both of you have mentioned this. I mean, that wonderful moment with the Paddington Bear, where we really began to see her for the first time ever in my lifetime, where you could get a sense of how she was joking behind the scenes. Let me roll tape and get your quick reactions. Go ahead.
Perhaps you would like a marmalade sandwich. I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here.
Oh.
For later.
The party is about to start, Your Majesty.
Happy Jubilee, ma'am. And thank you for everything.
That's very kind.
Neil, that really sums it up, doesn't it?
It really does. It's an enduring image. I could feel quite emotional, you know, listening to that, because you just kind of, it caught everybody off guard. You know, there have been moments in her reign, like the Bond, you know, the Olympics, where she was, that was great fun, you know. So I think for people to sort of think that she was serious when it mattered, but boy, did she show a lot of fun. And I think that enduring image with Paddington Bear will go down in history. And what a lovely thing to be associated with, too.
Well, she was
Children
just
will love it forever.
She was a lovely woman. Kinsey, final 10 seconds on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm always going to remember her as a Bond girl.
All right. Hey, Neil, Kinsey, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate seeing you both. Queen Elizabeth II, dead at the age of 96.